Less than 24 away from the NFL free agency legal tampering period begins. Another Sunday. Sunday fun day. And of course, that means another Sunday with Cravante talking NFL offseason and free agency. A lot to get into. Not going to waste too much time. We're here for you on a Sunday, getting you through it. College basketball conference tournaments and big regular season finales underway, going on all day. But we're talking some NFL. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. A lot to get into. An all-pro is staying, and a new head coach for Bolton Green, along with all the other NFL news and notes. Let's get to it. It's the Flex Zone. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, vote on the poll, hit that bell. Let's get to it. Happy Flex Zone family. Another Sunday on the Flex Zone podcast. Only plays Cavante giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
It's Sunday. And you know what that means? It's Sundays with Cravante. He's even got his own lower third and only co-founder, senior producer, captain of the Goofy Ship, and Commander Lorian. What's going on, my brother? Happy Sunday to you. And we got to play your theme song.
That's funny. I just touched my head with the left hand. Oh my god.
Jam. Oh, jam. Well, now that's goofy. Stupid. Just stupid.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. It's just funny that I just happened to scratch my head when they say left hand. I was like, no, that's not what I meant to do. But yeah, I like what we've established, what we're beginning to establish, because Sundays is a little dry now, but the NFL really never stops. So us, getting together in a Sunday afternoon fashion around the time where football will be starting or will be underway. I think this is good, man. It's good. Giving people a little update of what's going on, not just Commanders or Ravens, but in general, and a little goofiness before our flagship podcast. So this is cool.
For sure. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. A lot to get into today. So we're gonna start with some college real quick, Cravante, as congratulations are in order for Eddie George. He is now the new head football coach of Bowling Green University. Shout out to him.
Absolutely.
I have the news here. Let me read it out real quick. From ESPN, former Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George has agreed to a 5-year deal to be the next head football coach at Bowling Green. This came 2 days after George, who spent the last 4 seasons at Tennessee State, the head coach, was one of 3 finalists to interview for the Bowling Green job. He was a successful coach at Tennessee State. He held and helped lead the program to the FCS playoffs and a share of the OVC Big South title, the first league title in the school's history since 1999. He returns to Ohio, where he won the Heisman Trophy. Remember, Cavante, with your Buckeyes in 1995, ran for 3,700 yards, 3,768. And then he went on to the NFL, of course, 9 seasons, more than 10,000 yards, first round pick by the Houston Oilers. And then, of course, playing in Nashville for the Titans. Had his jersey retired and is the franchise all-time leader in rushing as well. So, Cravante, Eddie George going from Tennessee State now to Bowling Green, up a level. You love to see it. We've seen it with Dion, obviously going to Colorado. Bowling Green obviously is in Colorado, but maybe somewhere that he can establish a team that can maybe compete and be one of these teams that sneak into that 12 and maybe soon 16-team playoff.
No, absolutely. I love it. This is great. We love when Black more black head coaches, and not just the NFL, but all over the place, wherever we can, especially in for more prominent programs. Bowling Green is not the upper echelon, but it is a well-known program in the nation. So it's a step up. We saw what Dion did. Guys like Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick are in the head coaching ranks as well. And we saw Eddie George. He was at Tennessee State for a little bit, and he got success, and then he moved on to the next thing. So we love it. We love it over here, and so I'm hoping that he continues to see some success, and maybe Bowling Green can compete with the upper echelon of the football world, the football college football world. But we absolutely love it, man. Ed, go Eddie George.
Think about now opens for a young black coach maybe to go to Tennessee State and follow that same path. Like you said, Deshaun Jackson at DSU, Michael Vick, we've seen Dion. Ray Lewis was in, I think, contention even recently for UAB. So I'm sure Ray Lewis is going to be doing something at some point coaching. And Ed Reed is doing, I believe he's doing something now too, right? So
yeah,
a lot of doors being open. So let's see if we can get it on the NFL level now too, right?
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. But as long as he's working and progressing, that's what's most important, because once they have more eyes, like, all right, black head coaches are being more and more successful, more and more will not kick down the door, because the door is already open, just a little crack. You know what I'm saying? More, maybe younger guys could get in, because Deshaun Jackson, even though Deshaun Jackson is not super young, but he is we grew up with Deshaun Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So he's on the younger side. So hopefully more guys like that can get into the head coaching ranks.
Yeah, that is going to be something to look into, of who goes where and kind of what coaches even level up. I'm surprised Dion is still there. Looks like he's in it for the long haul with Colorado, even though they got some questions this season. It's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back. We'll see how good a coach Dion is this year, because he doesn't have the sons.
Well, I think he got his guy at quarterback. That that's
Juju,
important.
Juju,
I believe. Yeah. I think he got his guy. So let's see how good he is. But I've been on record saying I think Dion is trying to get back to Florida State. But for now, as long as you got your quarterback, you good on any level of football. If you got your quarterback, you can make some things shake. So we'll see what happens.
Let's get to some news, Cavante. While we're here this past week, we did hear that they are going to release Jonathan Allen ending his tenure with the Commanders after a wonderful homegrown career, in my opinion. Battled some injuries, but was solid nonetheless, even through the bad times. Re-signed Zach Ertz. We talked about it at the end of the season. That was one of the priorities, and not on the offensive side and on the defensive side, the other priority. Well, outside of the Debo trade, obviously, for another receiver, but Zach Ertz, Bobby Wagner, bring back your own guys. Now you have them coming back, obviously a little longer in the tooth, but the veteran impact can't hurt.
No, absolutely not. You always would like to have some form of a veteran presence just to keep things balanced. Now, you obviously want youth, but a veteran presence helps to keep things balanced. And Bobby Wagner he had a little bit more. He wasn't just a football player or just our linebacker. He was a culture changer, as well. And I think he really shifted the locker room and shifted the organization as a whole, because you need guys at all levels, from the front office all the way down, that has the same mindset and the same direction, all moving in the same direction. And I think Bobby Wagner was that. So I'm ecstatic that he's back. Is a little long in the tooth, but very smart guy, IQ through the roof, future Hall of Famer. And he could teach these young guys in the linebacking core how to play ball. And Zach Ertz, they said Zach Ertz was washed before he got here last year. And he proved that he is still very much He very much has still has some left in the tank, and it's still very, very productive. And he is definitely Jaden Daniels' security blanket, and still very, very productive. And he can add some veteran presence on the offensive side of the ball, not just for the tight ends, but the whole offensive line, the receivers, because their work ethic speaks for itself. And I heard that Bobby Wagner was one who always came in on his off day to watch film, and it rubbed off on a lot of other young defenders and young players on the team, that was like, hey, well, he's putting that work, that extra work. Now everybody coming in on their off days to watch film. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the type of things that guys like Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz bring to the table, and that we still need and can utilize moving forward. And especially for the new cats coming in, after the draft and free agency, like, hey man, you got to go through these two. Similar to what Ray Lewis was in Baltimore, you got to go through Ed Reed and Ray Lewis to, like, hell, this is how things are. This is how things are going to go. And you either get with it or you get with it. You know what I'm saying? So I love these were two top priorities of keeping our guys, in house. So we'll see who else comes. I think Trust Way has to be on that list. I don't care if punter is low on the totem pole or priority list. Trust Way is my guy, and he was here through the rough times, man. Where he was doing a lot of punting, a lot more punting, but I think he's another good culture guy as well. Now to Jonathan Allen, absolutely, I hate to see him go. Absolutely hate to see him go, because he's another guy that was a Redskin. You know what I'm saying? He was here through some rough times, and I feel like it's even rougher when your team is losing when you play in the trenches. It's a little bit harder. It's hard to give that same effort when your team is. I'm being real, like when your team not good. The trenches is. I feel like the trenches is harder to play. And Jonathan Allen was here when he was a Redskin. You know what I'm saying? And we're finally turning things around, going in a positive direction, and he gets released. You know what I'm saying? But he was getting paid a lot of money. I'll say that. He was getting paid a lot of money. But I absolutely hate to see him go. He was a homegrown guy. And I definitely wish him the best moving forward.
Yeah, there it is. I wanted to pull up the thank you that the Commanders put out, and you see they put out the Bobby Wagner news as well, and Zach Ertz also. So they're going to try to run it back. Bobby Wagner says they have unfinished business. Cravante, real quick, since we're on the Commanders, I'll tie this with the other pass rusher who's out there. How about there are some names that are being thrown around? Not only Trey Hendrickson, but Harold Landry, maybe from the Titans. I've heard he's been requesting a trade. The Titans, are they going to stay at number one? Are they going to trade back? That's a whole nother question in and itself. Or does the team jump up? You know what I mean? To where they're at. And what do the Browns do now at number 2 with the Myles Garrett situation, which we're about to get into? But do you maybe go give up that second or third for Trey Hendrickson? Or do you go maybe give up that second or third for Harold Landry maybe now?
I'm all for Trey Hendrickson, man. He's been it's funny because he's so quiet. When we talk about the best defenders, his name doesn't really come up, but he's very productive. Like, I'm talking 35 sacks over the past 2 years, 17 and a half both times. Now, unfortunately, in 2023, TJ Watt had 19 sacks. You know what I'm saying? But his 17 and a half this past year led the league in sacks. So he's very, very, very productive, and he's going to get paid by somebody. And I'm thinking, shoot, why not us? I think the Bengals are looking at a low, maybe a low end second round pick or a high third round pick, somewhere in that range. So I'm all for it. And we haven't got to Myles Garrett yet, but I've been through that out the window. I've been let that go, because I was like, the Browns are playing too many games, and that's not. We've seen the goofiness that the Browns have been over the past couple years. Not playing with them. You know what I'm saying? We have we have things that we can do to make our team better. Let's do it. And let the Browns figure out the Browns. So I've been let that go. But once I found out that Trey Hendrickson could request a trade, I mean, he gave me permission to seek a trade. I said, oh yeah. Let's see if we can make that happen, because I think he's the next best thing behind Myles Garrett. So I definitely and want to give it up. And plus, Myles Garrett was going to cost 2 1s. He's only going to cost a 2 or a high 3. So why not? And we could get some good production at end, which we haven't had in quite some time. So listen, I'm all for it.
Yeah, you see the accolades there. They're looking. There it is. The Bengals are seeking a late second round or early third round pick for Trey Hendrickson. I feel like if that's the case, he would have been traded. If that's all they want,
that's crazy.
Seems too good to be true.
Yes, and we will see. We will see. So it's not. Well, it's clear, and everybody knows that the Commanders are in the market for edge help. So they got to be on the phone trying to figure this thing out. But 17 and a half sacks, man, back-to-back years, is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So why not? Because listen, I was willing to give up 3 1s. I was willing to give up. I'm sorry, I was willing to give up 2 1s and a player.
All right.
So I'll give up 1 2 or 1 3 and pay him. He's gonna require 30, if not 30, close to 30 million a year. Just because
I was gonna say we're gonna get into the highest paid D lineman, but I mean, like you said, he's a well kept secret, and on a terrible defense, he was the lone bright spot. 4-time Pro Bowler, All Pro, 2024 runner up for Defensive Player of the Year, like you alluded to. NFL in 2023 with 17 and a half sacks, 2 seasons of 17 and a half sacks, 77 career sacks, 71 total tackles for loss, 14 forced fumbles. And then I think it was another stat I saw. It was 59 and a half sacks and 64 starts. Cravante, you talk about production. There you go.
Listen, man, those guys don't grow on trees.
Nope.
Those guys do not grow on trees. And when you got one, you ought to want to keep them. Yes. But the Bengals, I say half the AFC North is goofy. It's goofy with their management of players, and both those teams being from the same state.
I'm just loving the goofiness being a Ravens fan. We just sitting back right now.
I know you do.
I mean, I'm rooting for the Commanders too. I'm loving what the Commanders are doing. I'm not going to jump off any ledges yet. We got a long way to go. I want to see what they do in the next week, because I think they're already going to win double digits, like we alluded to. I think they could be. Hey, who knows what if Philly loses as many players as they could lose? The Commanders could be right there with Philly. I mean, who knows? We don't know what could happen, especially if everybody's healthy. So I'm not going to throw that out the window yet. But I mean, Steelers don't have a quarterback. They don't have receivers. The Browns, we're going to get into them in a second. The Bengals, they're going to have a great offense. But if you get rid of Hendrickson, what do you have on defense? And you're bringing in Al Golden from Notre Dame. I mean, he's a great D coordinator, but got to have players.
Hey, man, listen, we'll see what he can do. But his work is cut out for him, because you're giving away your lone bright spot on defense. And Bengals, it's so interesting, because I'm like, the Bengals, okay, you won. They put up a lot of points. Like, their offense was really good this year. We're just talking offense, but the defense gave up 2 billion points. Like, what are we talking about? Like, all the games, both their losses to y'all, close, real, really close. So it seemed like they are cool with, all right, we're gonna put up a lot of points, and we just giving up a lot of points. But we know that's not a winning formula. So that's what I mean by poorly managed. And I understand Joe Burrow wants T. Higgins and all that, but bro, that's not how a team works. So he's gonna have the highest paid receiver.
I told you they're gonna try to keep T, whatever it takes. They're gonna be goofy and do it. They're gonna pay for the quarterback and the receivers. They won't put up points, but they're probably every year. Why are they starting 0-2, 0-3? Then they're fighting from behind.
Every time, I don't get it. They it's like they always start off so slow. But they want to keep it going. So they're being insane, doing the same thing over and over again, thinking things are going to change, and they're going to put up a lot of points. Joe Burrow's probably going to be in the running for MVP, with his numbers and all that. But so you don't care about the defense, you don't care about the offensive line, you don't care about none of that. You're just gonna have a top 5 paid and top 5 Joe Burrow quarterback, and you're gonna have the highest paid wide receiver because Jamar Chase gonna get that. And now with Myles Garrett being the $40 million guy, what you think Jamar Chase gonna get? Because I thought Jamar Chase was gonna be the one to get 40, to crack 40, but damn, here comes Myles Garrett. So now, what you think Jamar Chase gonna do? He's already gonna pass Justin Jefferson, but now they probably gonna make him the highest paid non-quarterback. And now you got Higgins that's on a franchise tag is getting what 27, 28 million, something like that. Like, why is that where you put your money? But whatever, man. The Ravens are sitting. All right, Ravens ain't got to make any moves. Well, they did make one great move, but you ain't got to make as many moves as you think, because everybody around you's being goofy in the AFC North. Everybody.
Real quick, do you like the Ronnie Stanley re-signing? 3 for 60, but it's like 2 for 44. It's basically like a 2-year deal.
Yeah, because I wanted him. I didn't think y'all was gonna pay him. I did not think y'all was gonna pay him. And I was like, shoot, he could come down. He come down 95, 495, 95, 295, however you want to get down here. He could come down this way, and we'll definitely pay him because, listen, man, again, premier position, left tackle. We talk about pass rushers, the edge, and left tackle. These are premier positions. These guys don't grow on trees. So when you get yours, you need to hold on to them, because, and we'll talk about it in the draft. And I still got to get my list to you. That's what I forgot. I knew I was forgetting something this week. My week's been jacked up, but
it has.
I'm going to today. I'm going to get you a list today so we can start doing our draft profiles, because one thing I've said in the draft this year, a lot of the tackles they're saying are like swing positions, like going to the next level. Like, they're not necessarily tackles at the NFL level. So like half the tackle prospects are like probably gonna be guards, you know what I'm saying, at the next level, which is not great for those that are in need of tackle help, because it's not that many tackles to go around. At least not many good ones to go around. So but we'll get into that when it's time. But I started to say, great pickup, great re-sign for Ronnie Stanley, because left tackles don't grow in trees. You need to keep them.
And look at that. He got his 2 tackles, Cavante, for the next 3 to 4 years at least.
There we go.
Left tackle, right tackle. They have a Pro Bowl center. Remember Linderbaum a couple years ago? Absolutely. He'll probably get paid soon. So, and I didn't know, Cavante, Jay-Z did it again. We know Jay-Z, he runs the NFL halftime show. He does a lot with the Black Lives Matter. Is that still a thing? Can I say that without getting canceled? I don't even move it. People in the chat, can I still talk about that stuff? Is that still a thing? I know with 45, 47, I don't want to get us canceled, DEI stuff. But I learned that his agent, Kim Maale, is of Rock Nation. So Rock Nation, Jay-Z's peoples got the deal done. That's Ronnie's agent.
Okay.
And there you go. Got the deal done. So there you go.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So,
but I think that was I don't know what more. I don't know what more you guys will do in free agency, but keeping re-signing Ronnie Stanley is huge. Absolutely huge. So kudos to y'all thus far.
Real quick, Arante, how about the Chicago Bears? Real quick, I'm jumping around. I prepared a list, but it never goes how we plan it.
Right.
The Bears. Ben Johnson comes in. I know we're hitting everybody. We got a lot of fans in here, so we talk about everything, everybody. So make sure to hit the like button. Shout out to Raj, Ricardo. I see you. The Bears retooling their offensive line. They saw what the tragedy it was last year. All the flashy, beautiful, sexy wide receiver picks, and they couldn't protect their quarterback. Caleb, I still think he's going to be decent. They're investing in their O-line. Trade for Thuney. They got the guy from the Rams as well. What do you think about what they're doing? It seems like they are investing in the offensive line. Maybe a year too late, but I guess they're investing in the offensive line.
Because Ben Johnson is great. Ben Johnson is showing his IQ already, because he knows what was important in Detroit. Detroit had a top 3 offensive line last year. You know what I'm saying? So he understands that we win and lose in the trenches. on the offensive side of the ball and defense side of the ball, but he's an offensive guy, so he's going to get that right first. I think any coordinator that comes in, no matter what side of the ball they're on, they need to get their side of the ball right first, typically, because that's their, you know what I'm saying, that's what they lay their hat on. But he knows Detroit had arguably the best offensive line in football, so let's get this offensive line together now. Let's get it together right now. And this is what I'm saying for the Bengals. You got all these wide receivers, can't protect nobody. What does it matter? So, but Ben Johnson is doing a great job up front by dealing with the up front. You know what I'm saying? He has a young quarterback who I think, like, we both thought he's going to be cool. He's going to be good. But you gotta protect him. You have to protect him. And Ben Johnson being an offensive-minded guy, which I think will do wonders for Caleb Williams, they'll be more in tuned. And, you know, things will be better, at least offensively in Chicago. And he will probably be the next, well, I'm sorry, not the next, the first 4,000-yard passer in history for the Chicago Bears. But I think Ben Johnson is doing the right things. He's absolutely doing the right thing first by getting that offensive line together, because that's when you'll win and lose the game.
And then Cravante, they could be one of the teams. I know we talked about Jonathan Allen. They may sign Jonathan Allen, maybe a reunion with his boy Montez Sweat. We know the Bears have a really good defense, but they could go after Trey Hendrickson, or they could go after Josh Sweat, or like I said, maybe go get Jonathan Allen. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. Because again, anything to upgrade the team. Excuse me. But it's nothing wrong with upgrading the strength. You know what I'm saying? So I absolutely, and I'm not sure where they are with their cap, but they I don't think the Bears are done either, because again, trenches, you win and lose games. Look at what the Eagles did. Eagles arguably have the best offensive line in the league, and I think they do have the best defensive line. You know what I'm saying, in the league, them and the and with the Chiefs provide, but definitely the Eagles. I think the Eagles did have the best D line and arguably the best O line, and they won the Super Bowl. Go figure. That's how it works. But Joe Thuney, great pickup for the Bears. But yeah, I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done at all.
All right, let's tease the people on content. Let's get into this Myles Garrett situation. Myles Garrett, after all of the rumor and innuendo that he wanted out, that he didn't want to be a Cleveland Brown anymore, he wrote a damn goodbye letter in the Players Tribune talking about, thank you, Cleveland, thank you, City of Cleveland. He agrees to a extension with $40 million per year average, $123 million guaranteed, thus leapfrogging our boy Mad Max Cravante out in Vegas, which we'll get into in a second. 3 years, $106.5 million, highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL is now Myles Garrett. Max Crosby had it for what, 48, 72 hours? What the hell is going on in Cleveland, Cravante? Because they restructured Deshaun Watson, get cap money, and then they use it to re-sign Myles Garrett, who still had 2 years on his contract. Like you said, they could have got maybe, you said 2 ones. If they really wanted him, they probably could have got 3 ones. This could have been one of the biggest trades in NFL history.
Probably. Or at least maybe like 2 ones and another late round pick, or like a 2 ones and a 3 or 4. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Because he's as advertised. He's the best. He's like the best defender, arguably, in the league. You know what I'm saying? And again, Byron, I'm gonna keep pushing this point home. They don't grow on trees. It's not an abundance of them. So you pay the ones you have. But that was BS. I don't know what to think. And this is very goofy. The Browns or the Bengals have not done well with managing. They just have not done well with managing for various reasons. The Deshaun Watson is still kicking their caps, but still kicking it. And now the cap that you created, you give it to a disgruntled player. And he went through this whole thing of saying goodbye and all that. And all you wanted was some more money. All they did was throw money at you. You gonna say, man, whatever, man. He phony too, man. At this point, like I said, I've been moved on that we wasn't getting him because I really don't even want to do business with the Browns for real because the Browns are goofy. But once I realized, like, all right, he's off the market for real. I moved on. Now at this point, I'm just glad he's not with the Eagles. at this point, that's all I care about, and that's exactly what they did. They just slapped some money on it. Cool.
Yep.
Yo, the problem is still the problem.
Speaking of bad ownership, man, they gotta have the worst ownerships. Worst ownership.
Gotta be that worst ownership, and the Bengals got the cheapest. Just absolutely terrible. But I thought that was trash. I'm like, bro, folks just threw money at you, and that's it. Come on, bro. You just went through this whole thing. Oh, goodbye. I love y'all and all this and that, and sometimes it's time to move on. Shut up. You still gonna have the same problems. But now, pretty much now, by the time you hit free agency again, your value will be significantly lower and not worth it anymore. If you don't want to go all that, I want to go to a contender now. Whatever, man. Yeah. Whatever. I'm very disappointed because I'm thinking, ooh, Myles Garrett gonna hold it out. The Browns gonna go 0-4 to start the season and all that. And man,
so they was gonna go 0-4 with him, Cavante. Let's not be facetious here. Come on, I mean, they've had him for all these years, and they won one playoff game, and that one playoff game was not because of him; it was because of Baker Mayfield. And then these dumbass Cleveland clowns, which we call them by the way, not the Browns, they don't re-sign Baker; they let him go to Tampa, and then they go get Deshaun Watson, give him the most money and the worst contract in the history of sports.
And Baker Mayfield is thriving.
And now his contract looks like a bargain, $300-400.
$300-400, yeah, the bargain. We talking? What's that? The low 30s? Come on now,
man. They piss that out on beer every week.
Come on now. What are we talking about? But yeah, the Browns are going to continue to be goofy, unfortunately. Even when sometimes I think like the Browns are like, all right, they're getting better. All right, they're getting a little bit better. Maybe they're going to come out this hole. Nope. So, okay, Myles Garrett, if you want to continue to die, you want to die on that Cleveland Hill, by all means, go ahead, brother.
There you go, right there. 3 wins and 40 million. Pawn stocks.
He said, okay. Crazy, man.
Oh man, look at this guy. Oh man, it is what it is.
Yo, Ricardo, I agree. If you're going to suck with the rest of your career, by all means, get paid for it. But just know, money ain't everything. And these next 6 years of your career is going to be not great. Just know that. And they're going to expect you to continue to produce.
I'm trying to let me see. Hold on, real quick, Cavante. So it looks like the contracts for pass rushers: Myles Garrett, $40 million a year. Yep. Max Crosby, which was all but 48 hours, 35.5. Nick Bosa, $34 million, and Josh Hines Allen. I guess that's what he's going by now. To not be confused with the other Josh Allen, who is the MVP. 28.25.
We'll confuse the two.
Yes. 28.25. So Josh Allen very underrated, but plays for a terrible organization, much like Myles Garrett.
Well, but how much he got left on his contract? Where he at?
Who, Josh Allen?
Yeah,
I think he just got paid. I'll Google it for you.
Okay.
I'll look that up for you. Give me a second, but I'll get that information once we get through this topic.
Google it.
Oh, and
I will.
I see Alex asked the question. Which team do you think spends the most money?
And Ricardo said New England. What do you think about New England? They're linked heavily. I know they were linked to Ronnie. Did a whole video on it, but they're linked also to Chris Godwin. I know I'm hitting you with a lot, but Chris Godwin maybe to New England because they want to get a receiver for our boy Drake May, which we liked them before the draft. Everybody, hey, just saying. And I think Cavante, with the right moves, they could be one of those teams that could potentially sneak in to be in the conversation for the playoffs. We know the Jets are going to stink. They don't have a quarterback. And we know the Dolphins, I think, are going to take a step back, in my opinion, as well.
I think so.
Our boy McDaniel could be on the hot seat in Miami. Speaking of coaches.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. So naturally New England has the most money, so they probably should spend the most money. So yeah, New England. I would say New England. Don't be surprised if the
They get something done. I don't know.
Well, they probably don't want to create any bad tension there, but I'm hearing that they're working out a deal. So I'm not sure Chris Godwin is going to leave Tampa Bay, but if you have the opportunity to put an offer out there, make it something that he can't refuse. So he really has to make a decision, because you're right, they didn't franchise him, so he's really out there. You know what I'm saying, right now. So, and you got the money to get whoever you really, really want, you can get him. So, and who else did you say? Mike McDaniels, Miami. I do think Miami's going to take a step back. After the whole Tyreek Hill thing, Tua's still the quarterback, so that only goes as far as whatever. And I do think they take a step back, and the Jets are not going to be good. Hell, crazy thing is the New England Patriots.
And I like Aaron Glenn. I like the Aaron Glenn hire. It could work, but he don't have a quarterback. I can't believe it. And they talking about, like I told you last week, they want to do Ohio State reunion possibly with Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson.
So unfortunately, I hope he gets more time than. Hopefully, the Jets have a change of heart and they actually be patient with the coach. But New England has a chance to leapfrog the Jets if they play these cards right. And I do again, in Miami, let's just say it's the Bills. This is the Bills division for the foreseeable future.
We're going to get to the Bills in a second for our good brother Ricardo, but we have a quick break in the action, Cavante, because I was able to find
Go Google it.
The statement that he wrote. And for those new to the program, Cavante, I think it's time for a little story time with the Fleck Zone podcast, courtesy of Myles Garett. Excuse me.
Let me go on mute.
Make sure everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, and if you can hear me in the chat, make sure you leave a thumbs up that you can hear me. Drop some headphones, drop a microphone, drop some money emojis. Super chat us if you like as well. Hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, vote on the poll. And I quote Myles Garett: as a kid,
Here we go.
Dreaming of the NFL, the National Football League, all I focused on was the ultimate goal of winning a Super Bowl. And that goal fuels me today more than ever. My love for the community of Northeast Ohio and the incredible fan base of the Cleveland Browns has made this one of the toughest decisions of my life, Cravante. These past 8 years have shaped me into the man that I am today. While I've loved calling this city my home, my desire to win and compete on the biggest stages won't allow me to be complacent. Okay, Reverend. The goal was never to go from Cleveland to Canton. It has always been to compete for and win a Super Bowl. And this was in different font, everybody, and it's bolded, in case you can't see it at home. With that in mind, I have requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. There you go. The song says it all.
Stupid. Just stupid. Stupid. Just stupid. Well, now that's goofy.
Cavante, I think I did an okay job reading that for the good brother.
Listen, I like story time. I'm not gonna. I like story time. When that song get to going, and I'm like, it's time. It's goofy story time. We need a hashtag. I don't know what we're gonna call it, but yeah, man. Because when you drop it, everybody needs to know.
Yeah.
When you hear it, that little rain,
Yeah.
Raining starts.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
time. It's
Yes.
time. But you did great. You did
Thank you.
absolutely great
Thank you.
because
Appreciate it.
he is absolutely goofy. Cue the rain, cue all that stuff. Because it didn't even last a month. Like when did you request a trade? I don't even remember.
It was less than a month. It had to
Yeah,
be less than a month. It had to be
what are we
less than a month, bro. Let me see if I can find the date of when this was. When was this? When did he write this? Doesn't say, but yeah, it wasn't. Couldn't have been 1 month. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
absolutely goofy.
Jesus Christ. Um, where are we going from here? Real quick, breaking news. Shout out to Alex. We talked about him last week as one of the guys who is a really good underrated player on the free agent market. The Chiefs, Cravante, re-signed Nick
Good move.
Bolton.
Good move.
So
Good
very good.
move. Good move. Because I would have hated that. That'd have been a blow to the Chiefs if he'd hit free agency. Because he is the heart. Him and Chris Jones, I think, are like the heart of that defense. And sometimes a lot of linebackers for the Chiefs get overlooked, but they do work in the middle of that defense. So that's a great move, great re-sign for the Chiefs.
Yes, 3 for 45, so 30 million fully guaranteed. Very good linebacker, so keeping their defense intact as well. And real quick, Myles Garrett, by the way, Cravante, represented by who? Clutch Sports. It's who? Rich Paul. Who? None other than LeBron James. So how funny how these things all come full circle, by the way.
I guess, man.
Yes.
I guess.
Yes. Yes. Where did I want to go from here? Let's go to goofy story time, the flex on story time. I love it all. Let's go to the Bills because our good brother Ricardo has waited so patiently. He's in the chat. I think the Bills are going to be very sneaky in free agency, Cavante. And I say that because not only are they re-signing their own, they did release Von Miller today, but they did bring back and extend Greg Russo, Mr. Shakur, the wide receiver, Khalil Shakur. Of course, Josh Allen in probably another year or so is eligible for an extension as well, so that can have a lot to do with it. But I look at the wide receiver free agent market and that, but looking at some of the guys out there, the Bills could use another receiver, and they probably will spend a couple of dollars.
But I didn't know this. I didn't realize this until probably before the DK Metcalf stuff. I didn't realize like how many receivers are really like on the market or available, let me say, or available. Maybe not necessarily free agents, but they are available and on the market on the trading block or something. But it's a lot of guys. So the Bills needing another wide receiver this is a great time to get one in free agency if you need one. Between Seattle look like they starting completely over, look like they rebuilding now. Look like Sam Howell, my guy from back in the day. He's probably going to be the quarterback moving forward because Geno Smith is not there. Tyler Lockett was released, and DK Metcalf is on the trading block. So yeah, it's quite a bit of wide receivers. Cooper Kupp is out there. Deebo Samuels was out there. So yeah, it's some guys to choose from.
And these are the unrestricted guys, obviously, but we got a lot of guys: Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. We got Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson. Oh joy! And you mentioned Cooper Kupp is going to be available. I mean, it's an option out there for guys or teams who mean the receiver. Tyler Lockett, can't forget him. I think he's very underrated as well. Am I missing anybody receiver wise? But yeah, it's some receivers out there. There's some guys out there that are still pretty solid, even though they're over 30. Like I said, I mean, is I guess Cavante, I guess I ask you, is Devontae and Aaron Rodgers or Aaron Rodgers and Devontae a package deal? Because how do you see that playing out?
Gosh, it shouldn't be. They should not be. Oh, they absolutely should not be. Like, okay, so I think Aaron Rodgers has been tied to like New York and Pittsburgh as of as of late. I think both of them are terrible spots because he has been destroying organizations since he left Green Bay. And low-key was bringing that organization down too. But I don't think whoever picks Aaron Rodgers should be obligated to get Devontae Adams, because that's not a for sure fire way for victory. First of all, Aaron Rodgers is long in the tooth, and Devontae Adams is a little long in the tooth. They don't have, this is not Green Bay Packers, you know what I'm saying, with the two of them. So I don't think I don't think any of these organizations should commit to both of them. And how much does Aaron Rodgers really have left in the tank? And Devontae Adams could still be productive, but I don't think he's the number one guy like he used to be anymore. But yeah, whoever gets Aaron Rodgers, don't feel obligated to get at Devontae Adams. Don't do that. But Pittsburgh don't even strike me as the type to do that. And if you go to the Giants, they already got league neighbors, so it's not, you know what I'm saying? You don't need Devontae Adams, but they absolutely should not be a package deal.
Do you see DK? I guess as we kind of get into the next topic, you see DK possibly on the move, because we did over the weekend or Friday night, right as we were getting ready to come on here and go live for our usual stuff for SmackDown. Geno Smith traded to the Raiders. Cavante, I didn't see that coming for a third-round pick. He's the last year of his deal. They're apparently talking about a extension, but the Raiders picked 6th in the draft. How does this play out in your opinion? Obviously, Mad Max gets paid, well deserved. I'd rather lose in Vegas than in Cleveland personally, but 3 for $106. They get Geno, 1-year deal, reunites with his old coach, Tom Brady in the shadows. I mean, what do you think about that move?
That move was surprising. I did not see that coming at all. And they got a 3rd-round pick out of it. That's some pretty good value, if you ask me. 3rd-round pick for Geno Smith, that's not bad at all. So now, because I'm trying to see like Seattle, so Sam Howell, like I said, Sam Howell is probably going to be the guy.
Well, they're apparently interested in Darnold because his former offensive coordinator was with him in the beginning, I believe. They had ties together, so that could be who it is. I got to look up who the OC is. I want to get that for you. Yeah.
Well, probably. Well, okay. Well, that's probably the move they're looking to make.
Clint Kubiak. Yes.
Okay. So, and they let go, but they feel like they starting over, man. Especially offensively, like DK Metcalf's on training block, Tyler Lockett's out of there.
They got your boy Jackson Smith-Njigba, Ohio State. He's really starting to ascend.
Absolutely. And getting Sam Darnold was like, I guess that we'll see. I don't trust Sam Darnold in inclement weather, and it rains a lot in Seattle. So good luck with that move if you're going to make it. Now to the Raiders. Would they still take Shador at 8?
What I say what they should do is just move back, because I'm hearing, and we talked about it last night with Rouse on a little bit of the show. We talked about Stanley. Jackson Dart is rising up giraffe boards.
Yes, he is.
And I said, and he vouched, because we didn't even talk. I said Pittsburgh Steelers, and then he said the Steelers really like Jackson Dart, and I said, well, will he be there at 20? I said teams get desperate. The Raiders could trade back, and maybe somebody wants to jump up and take a Jackson Dart at 6. You know what I mean? And the Raiders could trade back for more picks because they maybe could go get a receiver or take Mr. Warren out of Penn State, the tight end, the wide receiver. I mean, they got a lot of options they could do.
Yes.
Yeah, because they have they have Brock Bowers already. I'm sorry. They have Brock Bowers already, so they have one weapon. Maybe they trade back to 10 and take, I don't know, our boy Genty. Maybe do that. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can go.
Ooh, you stirring it up, bro. You definitely stirring it up. Damn, Harold and Khalil Mack. I don't know if we got it to sign.
Well, I think they would have to trade for Harold, but Khalil Mack is a free agent. But they're saying he could go back to the Bears real quick.
Yeah. I mean the Bears, but the Chargers are interested in keeping him, and the Bears are interested in bringing him back. So may get into a little bidding war. But but Geno does not elevate.
Ricardo, we don't either, bro. They're still 4th place, right, Cavante? What? How many games did they win this year? They probably win 7 this year, maybe.
and that may be a lot. But yes, I do think Shador. You're right. Shador would bring drama. He would bring a lot of drama. But I had him. But in Vegas, it's like it's perfect if you're trying to start over. But if you're not trying to really start over, and you think Geno's the guy, because if they extend Geno, I think you wouldn't get Shador Sanders, right? So if they extend Geno, then I think moving back would be a great idea, and you can pick up another offensive weapon like a Genty or get one of them wide receivers. I don't know
I'd probably take Genty. I'd probably take. That's what I'm thinking. That's just me putting my little do rag on of a GM. I'm trading back to 10. Somebody maybe want to come up, go get Genty. You got Genty. You got Brock Bowers. You have those two as your pillars, and you got Mad Max. He doesn't want to leave. He's paid and happy. You got rookie deals. Then maybe you can address some other things in the future. Roll with Geno for a year.
And you still got free agency. But those are not bad young weapons to have. And maybe Pete Carroll is still probably the youngest at heart coaches.
And I think he's still a good coach. That's why I said they won. Absolutely. That's why I pulled up the standings. They won 4 games. They could win 7 with Pete Carroll. I'll give him 7. Absolutely. I'll take the over, Cavante. I think we'll take the over.
Yes, I absolutely. Unfortunately, that's 7th. That's still 4th place in this division, because listen, Bo Nix is, like I said, I wasn't a fan of Bo Nix.
They may go get a receiver. Can't forget them.
Absolutely. And Genty, I've seen a lot of mock drafts where they have Genty. I guess it's kind of weird to say, but Genty falling per se, but there's no way he falls past them I think they're like 20, the Broncos, because they made the playoffs. So they're going to be in the back 14. So I think the Broncos are 20th. So if Genty falls to them, they're taking him, because Sean Payton is an offensive guy, and he's done wonders with Bo Nix in his rookie year. So give him more weapons at that point. So it'll be interesting. It's interesting to see where Genty goes. He could go anywhere between like 10 and 20, anywhere. So that'll be that'll be interesting.
I do have some numbers on Geno, though. I actually saw this the other day, Cravante, which was crazy to me, because he's not bad. I said he's probably a top 20 quarterback, but real quick, he has 12 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter / overtime. That is second only to the tribal chief, Patrick Mahomes, who has 13. He has 11 go-ahead touchdowns in the fourth quarter. That leads the NFL. Josh Allen, Ricardo, has 7. Dak Prescott has 7. But with the good comes the bad. We're talking about the Raiders. They trail only the 2000 Dolphins with the second longest playoff winless streak. The 2002, I think it was what did they call that game? The Tuck Rule game in New England, the snow. That's their last. It was the 2002 was their last win in the playoffs, though. So ever since then, it's just like they've been terrible. Them and the Dolphins. Like, what?
And ain't it funny that Tom Brady is in their front office now?
And he's calling games. It's just,
it's a lot. It
pays to be one of the 3 greatest white men of all time. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Okay.
I haven't heard that in a while.
I hadn't had a reason to use it, and I wasn't even a fan of him in the broadcast booth. I thought he was a little cringy at times, in my opinion, kind of forced, not natural. Yeah, yeah, but can't doubt who he is as a player, and he's still now obviously in ownership. So come on, man.
Ain't that crazy that he's with the Raiders? Damn. And that's how his that trajectory of his career was all up from there, because if the Raiders would have won that game, who knows where Tom Brady would be right now. Right. But game of inches, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
But with Geno Smith, there's obviously that's good and bad. I'm glad he was able to have a resurgence of his career, because the Jets don't do well with top guys. They don't. You can look at their track record, especially first round picks between I mean, well, no, he was second. Was he second round?
He was a second round pick. Remember, he fell, but he was, highly touted. West Virginia. I mean, Cavante, West Virginia
West
that
Virginia,
year was
absolutely.
crazy.
Yeah. Was Tavon Austin? Was Tavon Austin?
Tavon Austin, I think Stedman Bailey, the other receiver.
Wow, yeah, that they was crazy in the Big 12. It was real crazy in the Big 12. But the Jets don't do well with their high draft picks like Mekhi Becton, Geno Smith. You remember D Milliner? I think he was cornerback from Alabama.
Go Google it.
First round pick.
I do remember him. Yes.
You remember Vernon Golson?
Oh,
my God,
go
these
Google
are guys.
it.
These are guys that the Jets have destroyed, and then Mekhi Becton goes on to win the Super Bowl. What the hell are we talking about? What? That's why I'm like, so it's just some organizations like, yo, y'all are really bad. And trust me, the Commanders were one of them. But my gosh, like Geno Smith goes to Seattle. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, he's not that bad. Sam Darnold, not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Mekhi Becton, not that bad. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just crazy how now Vernon Golston probably was a bust. Milliner probably was a bust. I don't know, but it's just you see their track record of when their draft picks. It's just I don't get it. I just don't get it. And then Mekhi Becton, they was talking big trash about him. Telling me he was a bust. He go to Philly. He's a Super Bowl champion. Come on now, what are we talking about? So, I think this is a Jets. That's a Jets problem above anything else. But Geno Smith, there is good and there is bad, but you could do a lot worse with Geno Smith, and he's back with his guy Pete Carroll. So there's a comfortability that goes with that.
28 deep passing touchdowns since 2022. He ain't got nobody to throw to but Brock Bowers. So whatever Brock Bowers did last year with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell, he's going to do even more, I think, with Geno Smith this year. So look out for Brock Bowers. I'm telling you, he's going to be something special. He's probably going to be the best tight end in the league after this season. So, like I said, they'll probably finish fourth. They'll probably win 7 games, though. But then again, who knows what could happen? We seen stranger things happen, and we know Pete Carroll is a hell of a coach. So maybe we get Geno Smith. He is 18-14 over the last 2 years, 8,000 yards and 41 touchdowns to 24 interceptions. So he's kind of like not bad, but he's not elite. He's kind of like that, maybe tier 3. Yeah,
he's average. He is average. You could do worse, and you can also do better. But he can win. He has the potential to win games if you put some elite pieces around him. He can win some games. But I don't think like Ricardo said, I don't think he's elevating. he doesn't have that. But he's a decent quarterback.
Let's get to something we'll probably talk about more tomorrow with your goofies and all that stuff. Xavier Worthy, Cravante. We heard yesterday that he was arrested on what was it? Facility charges of choking someone and preventing them from breathing, a family member, and this apparently was over his girlfriend who allegedly maybe potentially was cheating on him, and then now apparently he won't face charges. Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, when did we get so specific with charges? Like, I didn't know that was a thing. Like, it's not just assault. like choking, cut off circulation. Like I never heard this terminology. I thought it was just assault. But yeah, it's a lot that goes on. Stop. This Tom Brady gift has been used a lot, and it has not been good. None of them. But it's really unfortunate. I'm glad. I heard the charges have been dropped. Though, yes. So that's a good thing. But it seems like it's a lot of mess. It's a whole lot of mess. So I saw a joke somewhere where the Chiefs had got caught up with it was Rashid Rice, him, and somebody else, and they was like the wrong three-peat that they wanted. And I was like, oh gosh, that's not that wasn't it. That's not it. But I'm hoping things work out for him, and I'm glad it's not the things have been dropped, because it looks like it's a mess, and it looks like it's not all him. He looked like he's trying to do things the right way from what I'm hearing, allegedly. But hope things work out for him, and nothing crazy happens to him or anybody in this situation, because we don't want nobody to get hurt in any way, shape, or form. Y'all just figure things out the proper way so y'all can move on with your lives.
Apparently, the brother did already cut his hair. I guess that's how you know it's real.
Yo, it is something about when black folks cut their hair, man. I don't know. It's like it's a new chapter. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, very interesting. Oh, they bring back Hollywood Brown as well.
Yes,
Okay.
I was about to say they bring back. They did this quick with the quickness yesterday. They bought him back on a 1-year deal. We see they bring back Nick Bolton. They did trade Joe Thuney. Did bring back Trey Smith though. So Creed Humphrey's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs are going to be around. I said this also. We can't forget Rashee Rice is going to be back. He got hurt early in the season.
That's
He
scary.
should be 100%. So him, Kelsey's back. You got Hollywood. You got Rashee Rice. If you don't have Worthy for whatever reason, you'll have him, I think, at some point this season.
Yes.
They need probably a running out of the offensive line, running back. Defense should still be pretty good, I'm sure, as well, though.
I think offensive line would be next for them. Like you said, Creed Humphrey, all pro, center. I think all the other positions probably need to be addressed just about just to solidify the offensive line, because again, when your offensive line is getting a butt whoops, it shows. And this is the second time, unfortunately, both times it happened on the biggest stage, and everybody saw it. And that happened in both of and Patrick Mahomes.
Finish him, Daddy.
And Patrick Mahomes, 2 Super Bowl losses, he got whooped real bad, because the offensive line wasn't either not of the par or being shuffled or whatever reason. But listen, your offensive line not right, you can look bad. You can look real bad. So they got it. They have to address the offensive line. I'm surprised they traded Joe Thuney. He must have been in line to get paid, but they have to get that offensive line together.
Is this the engagement video? Is this what I'm watching right now? Is this what I'm watching right now? Is this really
that?
That's Worthy. I think he proposed to her. I think that's Worthy.
Not the girl he going through it with.
Yeah, I think he did, bro. Somebody in the chat, let me know. I think this is the video. Yeah, I think it is, bro. I think it is. I think it's the same girl, man. I think it's the same girl.
Chat, help. That's not her, yo. That ain't her, right? Yeah, please help, because this is.
Yeah, they had a whole Instagram page together. It says Xavier and Tia. A whole Instagram.
This is goofy. This is getting goofy.
Yeah. So I guess this was. Yep, there you go. There you go. See, that's her. I think that's her. She said yes. Xavier and Tia. Do you need to say it again?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll be. There you go. So there you go, Gravante. The plot thickens, as they say.
Oh my gosh. There's so much goofiness happening, man. Like, what are we talking about, man? I hate to believe that's her, man. Hate to believe it. But look. Why did the internet play so much, bro? Why?
Yes.
It's too much, bro. entirely too much, man. The off season, man. Off season is a wild time.
Yeah, very much so. And he had a good year, Gravante. I mean, the Bills goofily traded back and let the Chiefs get him. And we see why he ran the fastest 40 time in the NFL Combine. And there you go. There you go.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're in the chat, please. Let's get this over double-digit likes. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell. Yes, we got it all, Raj. We got the mugshots. We had the proposal video. Did you see the video, Raj? We played the proposal video. Apparently, he proposed to this young lady. She said yes. Do you need to see it again? If you need to see it again, let me know. But vote on the poll. Who is the biggest free agent out there that you want to see on the move? We kind of touched on everybody so far, Devontae. I do want to look at the updated free agency list before we get out of here, kind of seeing who's where and kind of what's happening. And then I guess kind of forecast from there what is going to happen. Let's see here. And let's pull up the list and kind of go and see if there's anything that jumps out. Yes, Raj, that is what is happening. So, a little small, larger a little bit. So far, Sam Darnold, ladies and gentlemen, is your number one free agent as of right now. D. Higgins, we see franchise at 1 year, $26.2 million. Josh Sweat, probably your top defender, edge rusher. Trey Smith, franchise tag, $23.4 million. Ronnie Stanley, 3 for $60. Milton Williams, so two.
That was a must for the Chiefs because again, offensive line.
Yeah. So they got Trey Smith back. They have Creed Humphrey, and they'll probably try to, I'm sure, add more. But Josh Sweat and Milton Williams, Cavante, two NFC East Eagles, potentially gone. 2 of the top 10 free agents. How you feel about that on the vaunted D-line?
Hey man, I'm cool. I listen, man. I like it. Anything to make let's help the Eagles take a step back. Okay, so I'm cool with it. So that messes up their rotation, and also Myles Garrett back in Cleveland. That we ain't got to worry about that happening. So now it's the Georgia Bulldogs that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So listen, let less of a rotation. They're not as fresh, and I'm sure Howie Roseman is going to do some stuff. He going to do some stuff because he's arguably one of the best GMs in football right now. But I like what I'm saying. We're getting better, and the Eagles are maybe a little wounded, a little bit on defense. Offense, they're still going to be amazing.
Dahlman. Drew Dahlman, underrated name. Play with the Falcons. I don't know why the Falcons would let their center go when they got Michael Penix coming in and they need to protect him.
Yeah, that's wild. Like they need to try to work something out. Need to try to work something out. Offensive linemen don't grow on trees.
No. DJ Reed, Javon Holland, Zach Bond re-signed with the Eagles though.
Okay. DJ Reed, possibility he's probably gonna get picked up. And I'm hearing, he actually said this. He did want to come to the Commanders before the Marshawn Lattimore, before we picked him up. So he's willing to come. But I want the guy from Mooney from the 49ers. I don't know. I haven't got any news from him. But Mooney Ward.
Yes, he is number 18. Yep, number 18.
Charvarius Ward, yeah, his yep. So I'm looking for him if we could pick him up, because listen, I told you before, Byron, about there's certain teams that just always do business no matter what, because their ownerships are in, so they're typically in good standings. And Washington and San Francisco have been typically two teams that always do business with one another, despite all of what's going on. They typically do business together. And now that we have their former assistant GM being our GM, this probably won't be the last 49er that you see in a Washington uniform soon. And I'm hoping, Ward, they have another lineman. I believe his name is Taylor. I'm not sure. They have an offensive tackle that I believe he's about 27. I forgot his name. But he may be on the list, Charvarius Ward. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but we may get another 49. I just say that to say all that to say. Odigizua got picked up.
He goes back to the Cowboys, Cavante. Yes.
Yeah.
Odigizua.
Yeah.
And how about Michael Parsons?
Would say that again?
Michael Parsons got to be sitting back like, keep paying these guys. Just keep paying.
Oh, listen. Michael Parsons like Mike Crosby. Yes. Myles Garrett. Yes. Yes. Next year, he said, oh, yeah. Y'all already know what the floor is. Yeah, you got to pay him in his 40s. You got to pay him in the 40s. You have to. And Myles Garrett is loving it. What are your thoughts on Bills picking up Trey Hendrickson? Man, I ain't gonna hold you. On the selfish side of the game, I want the Commanders to pick him up. But the anything that's an upgrade for the Bills. So I think Trey Hendrickson will help any defense. So it will be an awesome pickup.
We got corners as mentioned, Carlton Davis, of course, Charvarius Ward, some linemen, Will Fries, Cam Robinson, Justin Reed from the Chiefs, a safety. He could help out somebody. Nick Bolton just re-signed, obviously, with the Chiefs. Alec Jackson went back to the Rams, Lil Mack, Trevon Mork. So then after that, it may be a little bit of a drop off. Like anybody that jumps out to you, Cavante, some linemen, but nobody that's really like, you gotta have.
I mean, Byron Murphy pops out, not on the lineman side of the game, but just as a free agent. Byron Murphy, he may cost a little bit more than DJ Reed, though. I'm not. Then him and Mooney, he may cost a little bit more than both of them. But I as a Commanders fan, I want upgrades at edge, corner, and tackle. That's why I want to see upgrades. And defense, we may go defense in free agency and try to get linemen in the draft. So we'll see how it unfolds. But I think as far as defenders, we probably go free agency with this one.
Okay. I think Cavante, that is pretty.
Yeah.
Of Sundays with Cavante.
You break it up a little bit. My bad.
No, it's all good. I think that's all we got this week, Cavante.
Hey man, listen, man. I like this. Like I said, this is cool. This is cool. And maybe we could preview. We might have previewed some of the goofies we'll talk about tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow we are back at it again. Episode 481. We have a special guest, a cap guru. So he'll give us updated numbers on the caps and maybe some other outlooks as free agency. Technically, the tampering starts tomorrow, so at noon, I guess right? Officially, but unofficially. Yeah. So
first of all, saying legal tampering is wildly worded. But I think it starts at noon. So which means a lot of stuff by 12:30 is going our phones are going to be binging a lot, which means they was legally tampering, but it's all good.
Yes, sir. People expect on the podcast, Cavante, if they're new, what do we do on the show, and kind of what is the purpose of the Flex Zone?
Man, we do a lot, man, and still growing. We talk sports, we talk entertainment, little music here and there. You know, we talk about goofiness overall. We even talked a little politics. It wasn't my favorite, but we do dive into it from time to time. Flagship podcast Monday nights. We just started something new me and Byron do on Sundays to kind of fill the gap for the lack of football. Wrestling, big time wrestling fans. If you're really into wrestling, we have AEW, and what else is AEW and
so we actually got AEW tonight and WWE throughout the week, Raw, SmackDown, all that fun stuff.
So if you are a big wrestling fan, this is the place to be. We do live streams, and they cover all the goofiness. I'm hearing John Cena's a heel, so you know what I'm saying. So that's apparently a thing. That's a new chapter that wrestling is diving into. If you like sports, you like wrestling, you like entertainment, come to the Flex Zone podcast. You'll find something you like. Like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Thank you to the good people that was in. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Ricardo Green. Thanks for coming through, man, and engaging with us. We love engaging with our people. So, and again, tomorrow, Flex Zone podcast, our flagship podcast. tomorrow evening, probably about 10:30 p.m. And yeah, man. So you'll find something you like here, I promise.
Yes, sir. The co-founder and senior producer, Captain of the Goofy Ship, the Commander, Lauren Cravante. He'll be back tomorrow with another edition of Goofies of the Week. I'm sure a lot to get into and talk about there as well. Of course, episode 481 at 10:30. We got our Monday Night Raw live stream as well tomorrow. And on tonight, later on in a couple of hours, we have AEW Revolution pay-per-view coming up live. They're in Los Angeles at the Crypto.com arena. So we shall see what happens with AEW tonight. So to that type of thing, make sure you so we got that. And of course, back probably next week with more free agency, recapping probably the first week of wildness. We'll probably have some streams throughout the week, recapping some big moves. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, vote on the poll, sound off. We'll see you later for AEW and tomorrow for Raw and the flagship podcast, episode 481. Cravante, only place giving you sports how you want it,
when you need it.
Thank you all for watching Sundays with Cravante and for yours truly, God's favorite host. We're out of here, putting the kids, well, giving them snack time right now because it's still the afternoon. Maybe nap time.
Now.
maybe nap time. Maybe a slight nap. Maybe, I don't know. But big shout out to Maryland basketball. Also, now the number 2 seed in the Big Ten after the Michigan loss. So they're going to the Big Ten tournament. Double bye. We'll have Maryland basketball content. It's March Madness Cravante next week. So maybe a Sundays with Cravante. I don't know. We'll play it by ear because it may have to be moved if Maryland's playing. Then we got the selection show. But if anything, we'll at least probably have you for the bracket because we plan on doing the bracket. We're doing something next week with Selection Sunday. Trying to find an interactive way to do it so where we can do it with the people, do picks and drag teams across. So we'll probably do that. And of course, we're working on that mock draft, getting the heavy hitters, working on a live interactive draft here on YouTube for you. Probably sometime in April before the draft commences. So for Cravante, God's favorite host, join us next week and throughout the week, each and every day on the Flex Zone podcast. Appreciate you, Cravante, and everybody watching. Thank you. Can't thank you enough, everybody. And out of here, y'all. We'll see you when we see you tonight for AEW and tomorrow for the Flex Zone and more. Peace. Have a good day.
All right, y'all.